Just answering questions with WebTech. Someone pulled a contrarian today. I did a video pointing out that Patrick M. Byrne and anybody like him that is notorious for simply saying things for an almost rabid agenda, as they refer to in the news, of wanting to push a hunk of rhetoric or propaganda or a lie, the big lie in the United States, that Donald Trump is not a loser when he is. People who do that don't give us anything in return. This is as bad as, well, I called them Adolf Hitlery advocates, and also Bernie bros. I was in favor of Bernie being president every time. I didn't want Hillary or anybody else there. And people who are still fuming over Al Gore losing. Yes, you're right in one small way, but it's not relevant. This is the United States. If you don't like the voting system, either change it or shut the fuck up and just vote. But anyway, sorry. If anybody's not aware of this, I normally, in the past, criticized liberals because at least I had some point of reference and say, well, you are one, if you know one, you are one, you are one, you know. I forgot, there's some sort of neener I used to do when I was a kid. But anyway, but someone decided to come by and say, Donald Trump won the election. Fraud is rampant. Fraud is rampant, but it's not done in such a way that it benefits specifically Donald Trump or Biden or Hillary Clinton or anybody else president. Most of the time, it's done to benefit whoever's in charge of setting up how the votes are counted. Again, it's not who votes, it's who counts them. And the people who count the votes, your local elections people, are hogtied by laws in your state where the sitting legislature and governors and everybody else get in there and try to fuck with the way the votes are counted by districts. It's called gerrymandering. And I'm sorry, but no Republican will bring that up because currently, over the last several decades, the Republicans have been dead-ass guilty of it, more often than Democrats, but only a little more in some cases. Depends on where you're at. Get over it. Yes, if you're a liberal, I'm not going to do the video on all the liberals doing it because I want to see some liberals do it. I used to point this out and did for several years. Yes, those videos are gone because YouTube shoots shit down. Look, I think you're very smart. You're wrong. I'm not smart. And our own assholes did 911, or maybe I should say our supposed known as our own. No, they didn't. This was an attack from outside the United States, and that group of people wants you to blame their literal sworn mortal enemies in the public stage, the Jews. 9/11 was executed by religious fundamentalist radicals and politically motivated people faking being religious, let's face it. And that's it. And yes, the attack on the Capitol was done by Trump supporters. No, it wasn't done by BLM or Antifa. Stop fucking lying. Next. Let it happen to wake us up. To stop us from waking up. Because we are waking up and not falling for the shenanigans anymore. Okay, this is a person who has the name probably of a lady, if you're watching. You are being lied to, and you like the lies. The devil doesn't tell you a lie that you don't like, and the devil isn't in the details. You are in a mindset, this person's screaming, I will never unsub you. You are good for all. Thank you. And yes, we are waking up to the shenanigans, but the group of people that are trying to get away with the shit blame the opposing side. Yes, there are Democrats and Republicans. And yeah, I'm a victim of sovereign citizen bullshit and conspiracy theories a long time ago as well. And UFO belief shit and Bigfoot and everything. Everybody here, if you're watching my channel, you've probably been victimized by one of these groups of people. And I'm one of the people who helped little old ladies not get bilked out of their money because somebody was selling a perpetual motion machine or trying to help them talk to their dead husband. I'm not, one of these atheist assholes with no faith. I demonstrate a faith in humanity because I point out you need to learn where you're being fucked with and do unto others as they've done to you. Being a victim of this shit is a lot like being an ex-alcoholic. You're suddenly a zealot. No, our people did not do 911. No, they didn't let it happen either. None of those memes are actually valid. They were created by people who are using sensationalism and contrarianism to make money. The original idea for chemtrails, the actual wording for it, number one, was the title of a chemistry book for the U.S. Air Force at one time. That's real. That actually happened. But it was done as, happy trails to thee, chemtrails to thee. They even explained it in the document. But the idea with chemtrails was produced to scare people into buying food supplements by people selling food supplements and patent medicine. No, I'm not lying to you. That literally is where it came from. You can look up Carnicon, and if you look up Carnicon and, supplements and lying about various materials that are supposed to be in chemtrails, you'll find a web board with one picture of a very cartoonish little airplane, which is the main person that you can get information from. People have researched the motivations and the unspoken real reasons and motivations these assholes have for lying to you and me. It's money. I have yet to find anybody who does it for anything other than money. The My Pillow guy is worried about his bottom line and his fucking stock options. He doesn't give a shit about you and me. I give a shit about you and me. I care that you and I have our vote counted. And unfortunately, even though I still think that the Electoral College does have merit originally, it's a good idea, and it should still be used to keep Ohio from being overpowered, or any other state. It's caused Ohio to be overpowered in the election. It's caused states that aren't representative to be overpowered. And it's also caused our politicians to just ignore the majority of the population because they know they just need to win a few districts in a few states. So that's all they do. Take away that tactic from them and make them listen to us. And it should be illegal to gerrymander, meaning you are not allowed to make districts, voting districts, or any other kind of district that isn't essentially just a square or representative of the population evening it out. That's what it was supposed to be. Yes, our founding fathers might have been involved in some of that, making it toward be even, Steven, and fair and balanced. That was the whole point for the Electoral College originally. It was a compromise, making it more of a representative system like you would have in a republic versus an outright democracy by voting of the masses. That makes us a democratic and a republican society. That's literally where the words come from, if you're not aware of. Partially. Yes, I'm bastardizing it. But I'm presuming this is a lady because of the name. You're being lied to. We all are. And remember, this is the YouTuber that was dead-ass lied about on CNN tacitly by lumping me in with a bunch of people who are contrarians when I'm not. People I debunked were in a video, and then they showed my face. While they said, conspiracy theorists who are reprehensible, I think is the exact wording. So no, I'm not pro-CNN or Fox News or Sky News Australia or anything else that anybody looks at. Definitely not in favor of RT. But all of them, including RT, by the way, have been caught being dangerously useful. RT did break stories. They were useful. Doesn't matter if they're pro-Putin. There's a Chinese news agency that revealed a bunch of shit about COVID-19 and got a bunch of trouble because they made China look bad. Even stop clock rule applies to these people. But when it comes to people who consistently just look for any fact and say the exact opposite of it, contrarianism, as I call it, which is absolutely not the right word, but that's what I use, you need to learn to recognize their motivations and exclude them. I do not listen to Alex Jones. He only picks the devil's advocate mode and acts like he isn't doing so, thereby making him into the devil for years and years at a time, and then refusing to take his consequences and take his medicine. So the world basically said, you know what, if you're going to get away with doing this shit for years and years, we're just going to deplatform you because they can technically get away with it. And the same rule that allowed big corporations run by Republican interests to get rid of and shit on the fairness doctrine and the equal time rule, and of course, as well, the making the internet neutral, net neutrality rules. Everybody was involved. It was also Democrats, by the way. But anybody with a bunch of money interests, they took away your ability to bitch about this. Large corporations are independently capable of becoming a platform like YouTube and then shitting on anybody they just don't like for no good reason. And it is censorship at this point. I'm a victim and so are you. And yes, they do promote bullshit stories. They make money off of fake news. And you, and a lot of you watching, this person specifically, and me, and everybody are victims of it. So thank you for your comment. Thank you for your appreciation of me. But none of us are running this asylum. But then again, every once in a while we pull the doors off, and some of us like hanging out here. Just do a better job, please. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. This was an opinion piece only.